Rotating is an act that involves three main factors: timing, retake routes, and lurkers. If you want to skip to the part that interests you the most, check the description for timeline. At the end of the video, I will also summarize the whole video in a short nutshell. Without good team communication, accurately rotating is very difficult or even impossible. Rotating is a part of gamesense and makes a big difference between a regular player and a great player. Rotating isn't always a movement from one bomb site to another. A well-established team will change positions when information about a threat is presented. After the threat is big enough, obvious, or a bomb is in sight, the full rotation will occur. Let's start by looking at a good example of team rotation on Mirage. This is a 4 vs 5 situation push on A site. As soon as the CT player watching from CT spawn notices a push of 2 players, including the bomb, he calls out for support. Both players on bomb site B instantly start rotating to A through the safe route. In this case, both of them head into jungle. That decision is smart because you should always rotate together with a support player if possible. A player is already in CT, so going towards jungle is the best decision in this case. Let's also look at the hold when there is only one player left. One CT player stays in the middle to cover rotation through T-spawn. When they spot him on ramp, they position themselves in 4 different angles to cover A site completely and make for an impossible situation for the remaining terrorist. The clip we've just seen is from a pro match. Rotating is one of the rare things in CSGO that you shouldn't learn from pro players, unless you play at a very high level. They are much more patient and usually place threats that are made for countering the enemy team, most times not to be used as general knowledge against any team. The first and most significant factor is timing. You must train to make your timing better and better every match. You mustn't rotate too quickly or too late. This is something you will develop over time of playing. It is important to think about this aspect when playing. Sometimes players forget to use their head and think when playing. You should always try to outsmart your opponent. To improve your timing of rotations, you should follow some simple guidelines. The most important thing is communication. Make sure your mates give you reliable information fast. Most players start rotating when the bomb carrier has been spotted or when 3 or more players have been spotted. Apart from teammates, you can also get a feeling of when to rotate by listening for grenades and checking the radar. This will help players in low ranks where communication is usually nowhere to be found. By hearing multiple flashes, smokes and other nades on a different part of the map, you can assume what is going on. For matchmaking, 80% of matches can be read after a few rounds into the match. Make sure to remember the style of attack they use, and you will see similarities throughout the whole match. This will help you to assume where they could be located and rotate accordingly. Using your minimap to see if the bomb has been located is another huge factor. Most times you should go where the bomb carrier is. Now let's talk about something new. Rotating styles are very influenced by the rank you are playing in. So for instance, in matchmaking silver rank, you will rarely see fake plays from the terrorists. That means that when you see the bomb going towards bomb site A, it is almost always going to be A. If we compare this to global elite ranks, the likelihood of it being an A attack gets much lower. This is why you should adapt your rotation style to the rank you are playing in. As mentioned before, rotating isn't always from A to B. If you are uncertain if you should rotate, you can always shift your position to be closer to the other bomb site. Sometimes it is also smart to rotate to the middle if you are unsure. You will be positioned closer to the other bomb site and also have the possibility to quickly return to your bomb site if required. Make sure to shift your position according to the situation to be as good as possible. If you are playing as an anchor on the site, then you shouldn't move anywhere. until you are 100% sure that your site will be clear this round. The second factor is lurking. You should always be cautious of lurkers when rotating. This factor is directly correlated to rotate routes, which is the third factor in this video. When you choose your rotate route on the map, you must know where lurkers could come and surprise you. You can easily think about that while you are running from one position to another. And the last factor, as I've mentioned, is choosing your retake route. Each map in Counter-Strike is different and has various rotate paths. They have different lengths and different risks when using them. Make sure to choose the one that will work best. This is also something you will improve while playing. Sometimes it's best to choose the safest route, while sometimes you benefit greatly when going through the risky route and attacking from a different angle. I will show you the safe routes on a few maps. Rotating gets even more complicated when you think about maps where safe routes don't even exist. D-Nuke, for example, is a unique map with no safe retake route. This specialty about the map changes the way it's played and the mentality of rotations. If you still think you are not ready to play matchmaking, you can always train rotating and retaking on community retake servers. This is a fast way to learn where lurkers could be when rotating and to practice on multiple maps in a short amount of time. Now let's summarize what we've learned. With better game sense, you improve your rotation timing, thus being better at rotating. Make sure to rotate through the route that is most appropriate in the situation you are in. Be careful of lurkers while rotating and think one step ahead of your enemy. Instead of rotating, shift your position closer to the other bomb site if you are not sure what to do. If you guys want to learn more or give me some work to analyze your rotations, you can send me your match sharing link to my email. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.